Alright guys, so in this video we're checking out the Eachine Cvatar 120mm version. This is the one for 2.5 inch props, and the motors are inverted on this one. So you get, it's going to be hard to see here, it's 1404 5000 kV motors. Yeah, difficult to see. These new 5-bladed gem fan props with T-mounting. So a little bit different from the sound is a little bit different from the 3-bladed. It's not quite as annoying, but it's still pretty loud. Now, as you see, the motors are inverted. You got these plastic prop guards that actually mount the motors. You got an F7 flight controller in there. It's actually an Eachine branded Whoop style F722 flight controller and a 25 amp 32-bit ESC. So it's a pretty nice all-in-one flight controller down there. So 25 amps. F7, plenty of UARTs. This is analog, of course. Comes with an Eachine Nano V3 video transmitter. I think it goes up to 400 milliwatts. And then you have a Runcam Nano V2 for the FPV camera. Got a antenna in the back here for the video transmitter with an SMA adapter. And it's going to be holding a pretty long crashes here with this TPU parts. So no worries there. My version is the one with the Crossfire Nano receiver, so it's got the antenna here in the back, and the 3D printer part does hold the antenna in place like this. These little pieces here are already attached or already inserted. I actually should have removed them because there's no antenna that goes through these, but this is for like other types of 2.4 gigahertz antennas like a XM Plus or something like that. But you can obviously remove that later if you want. And that's pretty much it for all the specs and the parts and everything. In terms of what else you get, you do get an extra prop guard with the foam bumper in case you break one. Get some instructions here, and it does have a wiring diagram for a variety of other receivers, as you can see. So if you get the plug-and-play version and you want to, wire up some different receivers, it'll show you what to do to wire this up. And then it also explains how to connect up like a Vista or some sort of DJI system, because it is DJI compatible. So you should be able to do a conversion to DJI if you want to later. And here's actually the diagram for the Caddx Vista wiring, and it's actually included in the instructions. So it's pretty easy to convert if you want. You do get a spare set of the 5-bladed propellers, and you get a spare battery strap as well. Okay, so this is how much it weighs with the little GoPro, the naked GoPro mount that I put on here. And this is without a battery. And it's about 193.7 grams. And then I flew with this naked GoPro here with my little power setup here. And putting that on, that brings the weight up to 226.6 grams. And then I flew with the 4S 850 LiPo, and altogether, we're coming in at 321 grams. And I also did fly with the full-size Hero 8, which you can, see the GoPros have the little finger mounting pieces that come down like this, and that will fit into the included mount that's included in the package. However, if you fly it like this with the full-size Hero 8 GoPro plus the 450, the 4S 850 LiPo, the weight's going to be like 421 grams, I believe, so it's significantly heavier, and it also reduces your flight time. Also doesn't fly nearly as good as well, because I think it's overweight. So you get like 3 minutes of flight time with the Hero 8, and if you're flying with a naked GoPro, you're going to get closer to 4 minutes of flight time on the 4S 850. So as I mentioned, it is pretty loud, and you'll hear that in the flight demo at the end. But I think if you take these little foam bumpers out, if you're flying them outdoors instead of indoors, they do come out pretty easily. You can see like this, it's just friction fit. That'll probably allow more airflow through here and will reduce the sound a little bit, but I think it's still going to be pretty loud. And the heavier it is, the louder it's going to be. But if you're worried about noise, just take these little foam bumpers off outside, and it should be less noisy than with the foam bumpers on. Now, of course, you guys are probably wondering, this looks really similar to the Diatone Taycan C25, and it's virtually identical. It even has like the same top plate thing here where you can actually remove these 4 screws, and this battery strap part will come off, and you can get access to the video transmitter and the flight controller that way. That is on the diatone model as well. And then the way the bottom is also pretty similar. I think the diatone comes with a 20x20 stack, if I'm not mistaken, instead of a whoop style board. You can see that's the one difference here. Is that's not a whoop style board. The diatone just comes with little carbon pieces on the top and bottom to sort of give the frame stiffness and hold the prop guards in place, and then this whole thing plus the prop guards being screwed into the top plate and the bottom plate give the whole thing stiffness, even though these are just some plastic prop guards, and the motors are actually held on here with some screws and a carbon plates, because it is just plastic here, so you don't strip out this plastic piece here. And then also on the bottom, you can see there's it's gonna be hard to see. There's also a carbon piece where the motor is sitting on the other side as well, so that it does give it a little bit more rigidity. But you can see it still fluxes a bit here, because these are a little bit different design from the diatone. The diatone prop guards seem to be a lot tougher. This one's the ones on the Eachine seem to be a little bit more flexy. So as is usual, they didn't do any tuning on this, and I just flew it the way it came. I think they just slapped a bunch of parts together in this model and did not tune it at all. They just put like a basic default tune on there. I didn't see anything special. So it's quite loose in terms of like controllability. It just kind of drifted around a lot, and actually drifted around even more when it was heavier with the Hero 8. So I think that just means that the PIDs need to go up quite a bit if you're going to be carrying around a lot of extra weight, because it's fairly heavy. But on the naked Hero, the naked GoPro setup, it flew a fair amount better. It was still kind of drifting around a little bit. You're not going to see that in the real steady go footage, because that just kind of hides all that. So if you want to see the raw FPV flights, I'll link them down in the description as separate videos. You can check those out if you want. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that, but not everyone, so I'll make those as separate videos. But you'll see what I mean on the difference between the naked GoPro weight versus the Hero 8 weight. Being a lot heavier, kind of just drifts around. Doesn't feel like it's pointing or going straight. It's kind of bouncing around, and some of it's due to wind, and because it was a little bit windy when I was flying with the Hero 8. But even when it wasn't windy on the naked GoPro setup, it was kind of drifting around. Anyway, I'm gonna go and show you the flight footage. It's going to be obviously stabilized with real steady go, so it's going to look amazing. But just telling you that if you want to see what the FPV footage looks like, check out those other videos down in the description. Alright, so this thing's super loud. I'm going to try and fly this a little further away so I don't blow out the audio. Yeah, it flies a lot better now with the naked GoPro, much less weight. It's not drifting around all over the place. Should have much longer flight time as well. And this definitely needs better PID tuning. I can still see it drifting around a little bit. This is really loud. This is kind of far away and I can hear it really easily. Not a lot of camera angle, so not going to be going too fast. I'm sure the GoPro footage is perfectly stable looking, because I'll be running it through real steady go, of course, so all these little PID issues that I'm seeing there, it's all in the FPV feed. Yeah, it's definitely bouncing up and down a little bit here. There's no wind right now, so it's all because of the PID tune. Eachine really needs to send these out with some sort of PID tune instead of just like slapping parts together and putting on a default flash. I don't know. There's like sometimes some of their products do come out with a tune, and some of them don't come out with anything. So it's strange. They must have different teams working on different products. I'm running a Force 850. You can see some people over there probably like wondering what the hell is that loud sound. The analog video is not bad. Not a whole lot of breakup. So about 3 minutes of flight at 14.4 volts, holding steady. Oh, then we got a low battery warning, 13.9 volts. Almost 4 minutes of flight.